All right, Mr. Crouch.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chairman Meyer and members of the Ways and Means Committee. My name is Chandler Crouch. I am a real estate broker and property tax consultant. I represent 28,000 homeowners in Tarrant County, and I protest their property tax values free of charge.
That's good.
I think that it's really important as we discuss SB2 to do it under the right context. First, I just want to comment on what I think SB2 did, whether it satisfied the problems or not. I commend the efforts. I think that it's heading in the right direction. I think that there were some changes with the revenue caps that were essential and much needed. And I commend your work on that. It fell far short of where we need to get. And there are a couple main reasons for this. And so as we talk about all of the problems in our property tax system, there are a lot. There are problems on the business personal property side, on the commercial side, all over the place. But in my view, the only reason why we're sitting here today is because of the largest major dysfunction in this system. And it's that homeowners' property tax bill is proportionate to the value of their home. And the value of their home is completely divorced from their ability to pay. So they're being taxed on unrealized gains. And they can't access the money they're being taxed on until they sell their house. That's the reason why we're all here, and the reason why this is at a fever pitch. It's not necessarily because of the tax bill that shows up at the end of the year. The emotional reaction that we get, the reason why this has reached the fever pitch is because the value notice they get in April. As long as their tax bill is being proportioned according to the value of their house, and as long as the value of their house is outpacing their ability to pay, we're going to keep having these meetings. That has to be addressed. And if that doesn't get addressed, we can solve all these people's problems. And if we don't take care of that, we are missing the boat. And as we go through and start to acknowledge all the problems in the system, we have to keep in mind who's presenting the problems. Is it somebody that profits off the problems? Is the advice and the education that you're getting by somebody who's funded by making sure certain problems don't go away? And here's the thing. I'm not interested in anybody paying any more taxes. I do not want anybody to have to pay more taxes. I just want the homeowners to pay less, or for this dysfunction to go away. That's really what it is. That's what it is. And there are a few different ways we can do this, but let me just isolate it even more. It's an issue with how the property is valued. It's valued through a sales comparison approach, which we all know probably, but I'm just going to go ahead and state it. It's your house is valued according to what other people have paid for other houses around you. Then they theorize, well, if somebody paid a certain amount for a house near you or several houses near you, then we can theorize that that's what your house would be worth. And that value is determined by the appraisal district without ever having looked at your house and considering your unique situation. It's completely separate from your income. It's not that way in commercial. Commercial, you've got revenue. It's a multiple of the revenue. This is an issue that specifically relates to single-family residential properties. Okay, so that's part of it. Now, the appraisal districts are receiving a whole lot of criticism, as they should, with the current system as it is. The problem is the current system should not be as it is. They don't deserve the criticism that they're receiving, but under the current system, we have no choice but to criticize them because they're playing a far bigger role than the Pivotal Act ever thought they would have to play. They didn't account for 20% price appreciation year after year. And now here's the thing. You might think, well, wait a second, we're not gonna keep having this 20% price appreciation year after year. But if you think we have bad problems now, just wait until values start dipping, if that happens, or flatten. Because what's happened now is everybody's homestead is capped out at the 10% cap per year. But the value of their home is up here. So when they start to see in their news, they start to talk to the realtors, and they know that the value of their home dips a little bit or stays flat, and they hear those negative reports on their news, they're going to think, oh, goodness, I'm finally going to get a break on my property taxes. But that's not true, and we all know why. It's because that cap is going to continue to go up 10% year after year, and this whole situation is going to go people are going to lose their minds. We've got a big, big problem, and we've got to do something about it this legislative session. We can't wait until things flatten out. This is a bad problem. Okay. The appraisal districts receive the criticism because they're too much a part of this valuation system of property value times the tax rate equals your tax bill. They're too big of a problem. And we don't elect anybody on the property valuation side of the spectrum. That's huge. We've got to be able to look at our elected officials and hold them accountable and say, why do you keep raising our taxes? But the elected officials, no offense, are playing this game where they say, we lowered your tax rate. And they point towards the appraisal district and say, see, the value of your house keeps going up. And the no new revenue rate is a good thing. But it gets lost in conversation, and they still haven't quit playing the games, saying, we lowered your tax rate. And all the red-blooded Americans here that pay their tax bills know that it's a game because our tax bills keep going up and up and up. But yet, it's confusing. We've got values go sky high. We got all mad, and then we kind of forget about it. Tax bills show up, or they get sent to the escrow account, and by the time we start paying them, our escrow shortage, it's just confusing. People don't know where to focus their attention. We should be focused our attention on elected officials, so we've got to do something with this whole system. I've got a handful of proposals. It's probably too much for the public comments that I have here, but we've got to figure out a way to shift the focus of the people that are levying the taxes on us need to be held accountable by the citizens, and that has to happen. And as long as our taxes are proportioned according to single family residential values, we're going to continue having this problem. Thank you for your time.